Hey, it's Brady with Pure Intentions Coffee. I'm here today to share 5 tips for how to brew better coffee at home using a home coffee brewer. If you like what we're talking about today and want to learn more, stop by pureintentionscoffee.com. Click on the Campus Online tab and see what kind of great online classes we have coming up soon. Tip number 1, use good coffee. Good coffee is naturally sweeter, has great acidity, has nice flavors and aromas and all the fun stuff that we're really looking for in coffee. But all that stuff is best when your coffee is fresh. So look on the bag somewhere, maybe on the bottom or something like that. It'll have the roast date on there. Make sure it was roasted within the last couple of weeks for best freshness and flavor. Where can you find fresh coffee? I'm glad you asked. Just go to your neighborhood coffee house or your neighborhood specialty grocery or your favorite roaster's website, and they'll be happy to sell you some, I'm sure. So, tip number 2, I've got this great coffee. I want to make sure that I'm using the correct amount of it. So, we really like to use about 55 grams of coffee per liter of water. Yes, I said grams because the easiest way to do that repeatably, reliably, accurately is use your home kitchen scale, if you've got one. If you don't have one, that's okay. You could use one of these. 12 to 13 grams per one of these 2 tablespoon scoops is what I usually assume. So maybe 4 or 5 of these per liter of water. If you want your coffee a little stronger, you can use a little bit more coffee. Hey, it's your coffee. If that's a little too strong for you, you can back off a little bit. I will not judge you. So we're going to measure our coffee and we're going to measure our water. Now, all these brewers have cup marks on the side, but I'm never quite sure exactly what their idea of a cup is. So I usually measure it using a big pitcher like this or any liquid cup measure. So again, we're looking for 55 grams per liter of water. That's about a good balanced cup of coffee. So I have my 55 grams of fresh, delicious coffee weighed out, ready to go. Now what? Well, I need to grind it because it's best if you buy this coffee in whole bean form because it stays fresher longer. Now, if you don't have a grinder at home, that's totally cool. You can get it ground at the grocery store or the cafe or wherever you bought it. But grind it fresh right before you brew it is the best case scenario. The other thing there is that way you can adjust your grind, fine tune your flavors, make it a little coarser, a little finer as needed. If you're not sure how to do that, I've got a class for you. Check out our Coffee Brewing Essentials course on pureintentionscoffee.com. So grind your coffee fresh. That's my tip number 3. All right, so I've got my freshly ground coffee. Now what? Gonna need to put it in our coffee brewer. So my next tip, number 4, is use a Specialty Coffee Association certified home coffee brewer. That helps me have confidence that the water is going to be heated to that correct temperature, about 200 degrees. My brewing time is going to take about what I want, about 5 minutes usually, and those grounds are going to be nicely, evenly saturated. If you've got one that's a thermal carafe, that's even better. So, Specialty Coffee Association home coffee brewer. Do you need one to make good coffee? It helps a lot. So that's my tip number 4, use a good coffee brewer. Tip number 5. This is a good one. Use good quality water. The water that we brew with makes up 98 and 99% of the cup that we drink. So we want to make sure that it's delicious. No funky smells, no funky flavors. So here in Charlotte, our water's pretty good. All I got to do is filter out the chlorine. So you can use one of those fridge pitchers for that or one of those sink filters or however you filter water that you drink at the house. If your water's a little hard, if you pull your dishes out and you've got like a film on your glasses, then your water may be a little too hard to get really good coffee brewing, so you're going to have to get a little creative. Go to the grocery store, get a jug of distilled water. Don't brew with it. Stay with me. Get a packet of coffee mineral. You can get these online. This is a pretty good brand. It works just fine. Add that coffee mineral to that distilled water. Or you can use that distilled water to kind of cut your home water. 50-50 is probably a good starting point just to kind of knock the mineral down a little bit. So make sure you're using delicious, high quality H2O to brew your coffee. So get fresh coffee, grind it fresh, use the right amount, use good equipment, and use good water. Those are my 5 tips. Congratulations, you can make better coffee at your house. If you want to learn even more about this, stop by pureintentionscoffee.com, click on our Campus Online tab, and check out the classes we got coming up. We've got some good ones. So, thanks a lot. See you soon.